Peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Matter of fact, I'm laughing, which I always come into my videos laughing about something. Laughing at, because this video I'm doing is about, sometimes our crystals, they have to leave us. Sometimes we may lose or misplace a crystal or whatever the case may be. But the reason why I was laughing, because as I thought about it, that Keith Sweat song came to my mind. I don't know, y'all have to go Google it if you're too young, Keith Sweat. But that make this last forever. That came into my mind because I thought about how that's how we feel sometimes dealing with our crystals, that we could, make it last forever, which I mean, we're all eternally connected, but on a physical level, sometimes we lose our crystals, misplace them, and a lot of people wonder, like, well, what's that? Is that a sign or what? What's going on? What that is? And it's nothing super serious in the essence of just like in some cases, just like from human beings to spirit guides to actual seasons, that we deal with on Earth. You know what I'm saying? Some things are meant to be around for certain times, for a certain amount of time at a certain time. And matter of fact, you see the as above, so below, down from your crystals to your spirit guides to the seasons, which we call seasons because it's seasonal. You know what I'm saying? But you know, all these things are, uh, it don't. It has a duration of how long is in your experience. Because some crystals, matter of fact, and just like spirit guides, like when we're in our adolescence, some crystals are good for us. Some crystals, I mean, some spirit guides, excuse me. I went straight back to crystals, but when we're in our adolescence, there's a certain spirit guide, that, matter of fact, that spirit guide is learning a lesson like to, trained by helping a teenage person, and then after you get to the age of 15, so to speak, just say for example, then that spirit guide moves on, and then another spirit guide, which you have like a certain spirit guide that may be with you throughout your whole growth, but you also have seasonal spirit guides that's here to help you in certain situations. That's the same thing dealing with crystals, where you at a certain point of your growth, and a piece of pneumite is perfect for the situation you're dealing with, or or you're doing something and a piece of rainbow fluorite, is perfect. Or now, because you got so much crystal quartz, you end up losing your piece of obsidian. Can't find your piece of obsidian. Matter of fact, because you've been paying so much attention to the quartz, just like, and honestly, as above, so below is just like people too. You're not paying attention to this person. You're not giving this person any energy. It's like, that person could go somewhere where his energy would be loved and respected. You know what I'm saying? And some crystals get like that. Some crystals you may start to neglect because you just bought a bunch of new crystals and you just like, oh, you just into it. You done kind of got somewhat into the egotistical, the shininess. Ooh, I like the new ones, you know what I'm saying? Then you done forgot about some of your strong crystals that done help you through strong times and stuff like this. Sit in the corner, then all of a sudden, it's like, man, where that crystal? Matter of fact, some cases some crystals might sprout and grow legs, man, because I know some crystals where it's like, man, where it went, but it moved on to somewhere where it felt his energy could be used, and be more beneficial to the situation, because you obviously wasn't giving it that energy. But that's just one of many things. I remember I lost as soon as I got out to California. I had just bought a nice piece of carnelian. I had a piece of hematite bear. Matter of fact, you probably saw it on my Instagram post. But I was crossing the street in San Bernardino, and then it dropped. I think I had it hanging on my book sack or something, and I didn't realize it till I got further up the street, and then I went back and it was long gone. And I'm like, all right. And that's another thing too. You learn too with everything in life. Where nothing is a coincidence. If you lose anything, and matter of fact, it could be of a lot of importance, whatever the case may be. If you lose something or something happen of that nature, please know it's meant, and it's something dealing with your thought process, your experience that brought it on, you know what I'm saying? That brought that situation about. So, and in some cases too, it's not a lost cause, especially dealing with losing a crystal where, it may be lost, but it may pop back on you, if it's meant. But it's all if it's meant, you know what I'm saying? Because another thing too about being in alignment with finding things, like when I lose something, I know it's for me for sure, but this, also in life in essence, when we quiet the mind, but you lose something and you like, oh, where is that? Where is that? And you're in that old flustering, bustering. I just made that all that moving around, just looking for without actually stopping and breathing and just like, all right. For one, if it's meant for me to find it, I'm gonna find whatever it is, and don't trip out. Just chill. And then all of a sudden, right as I'm taking that breath in, my eyesight focus on what I was just looking for, like it probably, is obviously somewhere where it was out in the open, but you couldn't see it when you was out of alignment. Cause that's what when you looking for something on that level, that represents being out of alignment, and then when you stop and like, well, it's getting into that mode of knowing, what's meant is meant. You know what I'm saying? If it's something you lost or some crystal, whatever the case may be, if it's meant to be in your possession, you'll find it again. Or it's not too far, you know what I'm saying? But if not, it's somewhere else, and it don't pay to hurt or worry about the situation, because if it's not in your possession, it's not in your possession for a reason. Same thing with things that we want to manifest. If we don't have that $1 million yet, it's not in our hands for a reason. So just stay positive, stay affirming, and stay visualizing, and you know line up with it, and that's how it appears, and that's on so many levels. But with losing crystals, again, it's just mostly just like with anything else, it's just time for some of our crystals to move on. May another person may benefit from Lemurian quartz more than me in this moment, because I done used up and got all the lessons I could get out of it. Because at one time I thought about that for my Moldavite. I think I had put that in one of my videos, how it felt like the Moldavite had stopped working, but it wasn't necessarily that it stopped working. It's just that, matter of fact, for one, I just got so used to synchronicity, like, the synchronicity and everything just became commonplace. So in essence, I kind of it stopped being so amazing to me, because the synchronicity is just, becoming commonplace, because it was, part of my experience all the time. Because I always wore, once I got my motorbike, I always kept it on me, whether in my pocket or wearing it. I always, like I may give my motorbike, a little break, as far as like a break from not wearing it. Or if I do take a break, then I mean I'm breaking with it. Like, well, I ain't going nowhere. So yeah, motorbike, take this little chance to rest, but I take it everywhere I go. But again, it felt like I was wondering if it was still emitting vibration, or I'm like, all right, I don't feel it like I used to, you know. And in some of those cases, that again, it's like, all right, y'all relationship has, made it as far as it's meant to make it. Time for the crystal to move on to another place. You know. My Moldavite was meant for me. That's why it's never been anywhere, and it's not going anywhere. My Moldavite is my Moldavite. But different crystals come into our lives at different times. And just like how you may uh, lose a crystal, or misplace, lose, or the crystal moves on. Matter of fact, transition. You will come across crystals that somebody else may lose. Like it's know, the universe is like a little cycle, a circle, a cipher. But well, you come across a crystal and it's like, oh, and that person somewhere out there, somebody like, damn, man, or maybe they probably was at one in peace, like, like, I hope that crystal brings somebody some joy. Or they might be like, man, where my piece of malachite at, man? I know, and then you end up with it and it blesses you and on your experience, But crystals are, as above, so below, just like the seasons, just like certain people and situations, at certain times, just like, y'all go through my videos, y'all done seen this chain around my neck, which was funny, it's not this exact chain, but in some form or fashion, you're seeing this moldavite and this lapis lazuli, or some type of chain around my neck, and you watch it transform through, through the time, through different months. It's different energies for different times. When I'm feeling I need to express myself, excuse me, express myself on a level where it's just like, where I need to not bite my tongue no matter what. I just need to have that rage and truthfulness just flow. Then you're gonna see the turquoise and the chrysocolla and well, lapis gonna stay there, but you're gonna see all those stones come back again. Because, as a matter of fact, and I made a video about that, keeping a mental log of the crystals you're dealing with also, because I remember how much I was so truthful with, like, matter of fact, I remember how I used to always do my little bow, like, hey, with all respect, like, with all, with all love. Look, I don't deal with this and that and this, or, this is this and this and that. Like, I would just express the truth, regardless. In situations where if I was in my ego, I would have bit my tongue. And that's why I really, resonate with it, because it's like, all right, yeah, this really make me upfront about expressing myself, and I remember that. But I'm not gonna drag this video out any longer. But again, dropping that. And also too, I thought about that. Forgot not to pass that up. Also, if you dropping crystals, like, say for instance, or dropping anything in general, but I remember for me it was crystals and just anything that was in my hand. But also, if you find yourself like dropping things a lot, that may be a sign from the ancestors. Like when we cross and we transition, we on these astral planes, we get that childlike vibration back. You know what I'm saying? And the ancestors, they deal with us with that childlike vibration. So if you find yourself dropping a crystal or dropping little things, matter of fact, dropping food or anything, but for sure, like if you see yourself dropping crystals or something, it may be little fairies or ancestors, which some ancestors could be fairies when you got the Twa people in Africa, the short, you know what I'm saying, small people is considered to be a vibration on a physical level of fairy ancestors. But you know, uh, when you're dropping things of this nature, it could be in most cases, is a sign from the ancestors, letting you know, like they would like, to indulge with what you got. You know what I'm saying? They would like that too. Like, they would like for you to share. And in my experience, that's what started me with my altar, because I kept like dry like all like for a week, like no, for some weeks, just dropping things easily, like, and on a clumsy level that never happened before. And I'm wondering, like, why I keep dropping my crystals and dropping, but it was the ancestors trying to, let me know, like, to, build an altar, work with them, talk to them. And if that's happening to you, then that may be the sign, to go ahead to, you know, start today. Like, go get your little candle, go read your little book, see what entity or deity you want to deal with. Or matter of fact, I'll just do an ancestral altar, putting up pictures of loved ones, and the things they dealt with. As a matter of fact, I don't want to switch this all the way off of crystals, dealing with losing crystals, but, just to add that to it, I like to, holistic learning. I'm not giving you just one degree of knowledge. The title say one thing, but I might sprinkle a couple of more degrees of knowledge in there for you. I got the Freemason ring, but I have the knowledge, but I don't rock with the knowledge the way some people rock with knowledge. Now, some things ain't meant to be free game. I keep it real. It's meant for you to earn it in essence or vibrate on a level to attain it. But for the most part, I'm not really hiding knowledge or giving you just one, sprinkling you with 1 degree. Nah, I'm gonna give you a few degrees. But yeah, definitely to end on that note, if you're dropping your crystals a lot too, it may be time to, build an altar and deal with the ancestors on some type of level. But nothing, the world not ending and nothing's crazy gonna happen if you find yourself, dropping your crystals or if you lost crystals, misplaced crystals. It's just, it's the way things work. The different principles and laws of the universe. But peace, happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Make this last forever and ever. Peace, y'all.